Get your bingo cards ready, ladies and gentlemen. The Marvels is upon us. Today is preview day, which means just about all of you out there, if you choose to see it, you can and review it. I'm going to imagine most of you probably aren't going to watch it, like most of the people in the world. 150 million global prediction for this movie. Very, very bad. Some of the reviews calling it the worst Marvel movie of all time. That's bad because, like I said yesterday, that third Thor movie exists. However, somehow it's always going to be a man's fault, even though the majority of the audience for this movie will be men, just like it was for Captain Marvel. That mysterious audience that is supposed to come in and save this franchise never comes in to see this stuff. It's always dudes, even when the movie is made for women. But apparently, reviewing this movie in a negative fashion because of the fact that it stars women is, in fact, sexist. Take, for example, this tweet from Tessa Smith, Mama's Geeky. She is a critic for Rotten Tomatoes, Critics' Choice, Screen Rant, Disney Plus News, and a couple of other outlets, I'm going to guess. And she says, it's really interesting to me that it's all men who are actively hating on the Marvels. The movie isn't perfect. Read my review for my thoughts. But it doesn't deserve the hate many men are giving it. So if you're a man, this is your time to sit down, close your mouth, and listen to reviews from women. Even though the majority of people that are going to go see this are men. So they're all sexist, I guess. Get your bingo cards ready. The excuses have begun. By the way, a lot going on with this movie. This is going to be a big news topic, I'm going to guess, for the next week or so. This was on Instagram. Dear blank, please excuse blank early from work school on Thursday, November 9th. The Loki Season 2 finale and the Marvels premiere Thursday night. And they cannot miss what happens next in the MCU. Thank you for your understanding. It's a school note on Instagram, I'm guessing is where they posted this. But here's the real news, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you some shenanigans that are going on. Now, yesterday, the Marvels was at a strong 54% rotten over on Rotten Tomatoes. We can't have that. It's funny. The Marvels flips from rotten to fresh with dozens of new reviews. How about that? So it went from 54% to a 61%. That's interesting. That is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. How did that happen? Well, I would like to remind you that not that long ago, Rotten Tomatoes was under fire after PR firms' scheme to pay critics for positive reviews uncovered. Isn't that interesting? So this was a big story. Turns out this PR firm called Bunker 15 was going around paying people $50. That's right. A Hollywood critic's integrity can be bought for $50. They went around paying people to go in there and make reviews for a movie or a show or whatever to bring the score up. I mean, if you're a rotten movie, that's not looking good to most people, even though I would argue it doesn't matter anymore. What really matters is the audience score, although that's getting manipulated now, too, by bots. Positive review bombing is a thing. It's happening right now with the Marvels on the critics' side. But I wonder, and you have to wonder, did Marvel and Disney go around and start hiring firms like Bunker 15 to raise that score up because they know it looks bad? Or is it just natural? I'm going to guess. And it's just a guess. Like, I have no proof of this, but I mean, it has happened before, but I'm going to guess that Disney possibly is now paying people with whatever promise to access. I don't know. But I think they're paying people to raise this score. It went from a 54 to a 60-something, and it's going to continue to rise, ladies and gentlemen. I imagine that score will rise up to 70%. So you've got them possibly pulling some shady shit here. Here's another interesting thing. Watch this. All critics, 61%. Top critics, it's at 40% now for top critics. Damn, that is bad. Now, remember, critics aren't to be trusted fully, but usually the reason that I'm like surprised by this is because usually these guys fall all over themselves to shill for Marvel and Disney. They've done it before. They did it for the first Captain Marvel movie. I've played that clip many times where they talk about, they play ball for it. They give it a little bit of a pass because, they want to pick their battles and they want to make Disney happy and all of that shit. So it's funny to me that this one's not happening, at least for the top critics, but all critics are getting paid or something. There's just no way. I've watched a lot of reviews of this movie over the past day. I'll probably see it today. I'm not going to be giving anybody any money for it. Wink, wink. But I do plan on watching it. So, yeah, this is just a strange thing to me. And it's funny. It's like, the ballots came in real late for this one. It's funny that it's at 61%. I mean, it's not that funny, but given the history of what we know now when it comes to these Hollywood outlets, I would say, yeah, there might be something suspicious here. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So get ready, all of you istophobes. The meltdowns have begun already. Like I said, here's one critic right here already blaming sexism for the movie's failure. I would imagine we'll have a slice of racism thrown in there on this one over the weekend, and next week we'll be laughing at the box office unless somehow it pulls a 180 and makes a ton of money. I don't know. But there's that, and then next weekend it's going to fall off a cliff. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Also, make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals. And don't forget to like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.